Chelsea's impressive 8-game winning streak has come to an end, with Everton delivering a fantastic defensive display. Notable performances from Sanchez, Caicedo, and Enzo stood out in a tightly contested match. Welcome to Chelsea Tactical Views. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. A huge thank you to all of you for helping us surpass 3,000 subscribers. Your support means the world. Now let's dive into the tactical analysis of our match away at Goodison Park against Everton. Sean Dyche's Everton lined up in a 4-3-3 formation, a slight shift from the 4-4-1-1 setup they used against Arsenal at the Emirates. Chelsea, on the other hand, stuck with their preferred 4-2-3-1 formation, making just two notable changes. Disasi replaced Cucurella, while Pedro Neto came in for Madueke. In the build-up, Everton primarily employed two approaches. The first involved building from the back, with Pickford initiating play by passing to one of his centre-backs, Jared Branthwaite or James Tarkowski. From there, the centre-backs would look to bypass Enzo Maresca's Chelsea press by finding their full-backs or using short passing combinations with nearby midfielders to create space and progress the ball up the field. The second approach was more direct, with Pickford bypassing the press entirely by playing long balls aimed at Dominic Calvert-Lewin or the wide players, relying on their aerial ability or physical presence to retain possession higher up the pitch. However, Chelsea's press proved to be highly effective in disrupting Everton's build-up. Sancho and Neto pressed their respective fullbacks aggressively, cutting off easy outlets to the flanks. Meanwhile, Palmer, Enzo, and Jackson worked cohesively in the central areas to block passing lanes into midfield, ensuring that Everton couldn't find players like Doucouré or Harrison to progress the ball centrally. This left Everton with limited options, forcing them to either attempt risky passes forward, often leading to turnovers, or recycle possession by playing the ball back to Pickford. Chelsea's press wasn't just about intensity, but also positional discipline. Jackson often shifted to press Pickford whenever the ball was played back to him, cutting off time for the goalkeeper to pick a long pass. Additionally, Enzo and Palmer alternated their pressing angles to keep Everton's midfielders under constant pressure, ensuring they couldn't turn or dictate play. As a result, Everton's build-up was frequently stalled, and their long balls often ended up being contested 50-50 situations, which Chelsea's defenders handled with composure. In their build-up phase, Chelsea adopts a 3-1-5-1 structure, where Colwill, Tosin, and Disasi form a back three. This trio provides the defensive foundation, while Caicedo operates as a single pivot, offering vertical support and shielding the central spaces. Ahead of them, an attacking quintet consisting of Sancho, Malo Gusto, Palmer, Enzo, and Madueke occupies advanced positions between the lines, supporting Jackson, who functions as the lone striker. Chelsea's progression relies heavily on building out from the back. Goalkeeper Sanchez frequently initiates play by distributing to either Tosin or Colwill, who split wide to stretch the pitch. This setup creates passing lanes and encourages fluid ball movement into midfield. Caicedo often drops between or just ahead of the center-backs, forming a temporary back four when needed to provide additional stability and ensure smooth transitions. Everton employed a mid-block defensive shape, choosing not to press Chelsea's defenders aggressively. Instead, they focused on compactness in central areas, effectively nullifying progressive passing routes to Palmer, Enzo, and Gusto. By congesting the central corridor, Everton aimed to isolate Chelsea's midfielders and force lateral or backward passes, disrupting their vertical penetration. To counter this defensive setup, Chelsea employed several tactical adjustments. Caicedo and Enzo alternated between deeper positions, creating rotational movement to unbalance Everton's defensive block. Simultaneously, Disasi and Colwill positioned themselves wider to stretch Everton's defensive line and create overloads on the flanks. These wider positions also facilitated diagonal line-breaking passes into the half spaces, targeting either Palmer or Madueke, who exploited pockets of space behind Everton's midfield. Malo Gusto and Sancho provided width and were instrumental in overloading the wide channels. Their positioning forced Everton's fullbacks to stretch horizontally, opening central spaces for Jackson or Palmer to receive between the lines. This positional interplay added dynamism to Chelsea's build-up and created moments where Everton's defensive structure was momentarily compromised. Everton's focus on central compactness often resulted in Chelsea using longer vertical passes or switches of play to bypass their block entirely. Sanchez occasionally opted for direct distribution to Jackson, who dropped deep to link play and draw Everton's center-backs out of position. This movement created opportunities for Palmer or Madueke to make penetrating runs into the vacated spaces, adding an extra layer of unpredictability to Chelsea's attack. Everton's attacking strategy relies heavily on long balls delivered by either the goalkeeper or the center-backs. Jordan Pickford or James Tarkowski frequently launch accurate, high balls into Chelsea's half, aiming for the aerial prowess of Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Abdoulaye Doucouré. These players, with their significant height and physicality, consistently challenge Chelsea's defenders for control in the air. When Everton wins these aerial duels, they often look to lay the ball off to a supporting runner moving into the channels. This approach aims to capitalize on the spaces left by Chelsea's defensive line, creating opportunities for Everton to transition quickly into a more advanced position. However, when the long ball tactic is not employed, Everton shifts to a counter-attacking strategy. In their counterattacks, Everton focuses on regaining possession in their defensive or midfield areas before immediately driving forward with pace. They commit multiple players to the attack, often targeting the wings or central spaces in an effort to exploit any disorganization in Chelsea's defensive shape. The goal is to catch Chelsea's defenders off guard before they can regroup and set up a solid defensive block. Despite their efforts, most of Everton's attacking attempts were largely unsuccessful. Chelsea's defensive discipline ensured they quickly dropped back into position, nullifying Everton's attacks before any meaningful threats could materialize. Everton's inability to break through Chelsea's defensive lines underlined the challenges they faced in executing their attacking strategies effectively. When Chelsea is in attack, they aim to stretch Everton's defensive structure by committing 6 players forward. Chelsea maintains their width with Jadon Sancho and Pedro Neto staying wide to draw Everton's full-backs out of position. This creates space for the 3 attacking midfielders, Malo Gusto, Enzo Fernandez, and Cole Palmer, to exploit the central channels. These players provide additional passing options, enabling Chelsea to either create space for a shot or generate a goal-scoring opportunity. To counter this, Everton drops their wingers back to form a defensive shape of either 4-4-1-1 or 5-4-1. Jack Harrison frequently assists Ashley Young on one flank, while Iliman Ndiaye offers support to Vitaly Mykolenko on the other. This setup ensures that Chelsea loses their one-on-one advantage on the wings, as Everton often deploys 2 players to mark both Sancho and Neto. As a result, Chelsea's wide players struggle to break through, forcing the team to attempt crosses into the box for their forwards to head. However, these crosses were largely ineffective and were comfortably dealt with by Everton's defenders. In addition to their regular build-up play, Chelsea attempted to manufacture artificial counter-attacking opportunities. They used their defenders to invite Everton's press, drawing Everton's backline higher up the field. This created opportunities for Chelsea to launch long balls into space for Nicholas Jackson or another forward to run in behind the defense. Alternatively, they looked to play well-timed through passes into the middle to exploit gaps in Everton's shape. When these tactics succeeded, Chelsea was able to outnumber Everton players in their half, creating high-quality scoring chances. The game ended in a goalless draw, with Sean Dyche and Enzo Maresca tactically canceling each other out as both teams displayed impressive defensive solidity. Chelsea remains second in the league and will face Fulham on Boxing Day, where fans will be hoping for a return to winning ways. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an update. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next one.